Assalamu alaikum. I am Sadaan Khan and welcome to another episode of All of Your Business. I am with Mehtab Haider. Pakistan is moving towards market-based fuel pricing. तो सर ये मतलब क्या सिस्टम होगा? अब कोई चेंज आ रहा है? अभी हम एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे थे कि फोर्टनाइटली पे वापस जाएंगे हम और अभी जैसे वीकली अनाउंस हो रही थी प्राइसेस. तो अब क्या मतलब ज़्यादा फ्रीक्वेंटली हुकूमत अनाउंस करेगी प्राइस चेंजेस?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you very much for having me. Yesterday, Minister for Petroleum Ali Parvez Malik informed the National Assembly Standing Committee on Finance that the government plans to deregulate the pricing mechanism of the petroleum products, under which whole supply chain of the fuel sector will be digitalized, and the government will come up with the pricing on daily basis. But the reviewing of petroleum prices will be ascertained by the deregulated sector. It means that the government wants to end its intervention and its involvement for determining or fixing the prices. So there are certain prerequisites. For instance, the government will have to strengthen its regulator, that is the Oil and Gas Regulatory Authority. It will bring more transparency because at the moment everyone is blaming the government. But after this deregulation, there will be no role of the government and a mechanism will be devised, and there will be a transparent mechanism because we all know that there are certain taxes at the import stage, and there is a petroleum levy which is already exist under the law of the land. By applying this method, then the prices will be reviewed. At the moment, the government is reviewing the prices on weekly basis, and till the next decision, it will continue so. But I think with this kind of deregulation and bringing more transparency, it will be reviewed on weekly basis for the time being. But the later on, there are certain instances where the prices are determined on daily basis. But Pakistani market is not ripe for this kind of change. So for the time being, it will continue on the weekly basis.
सर तो वी कैन एक्सपेक्ट कि मतलब डेली प्राइस जो है अनाउंस की जाएगी, ऐसा हो सकता है?
It can be considered, but no decision has yet been made by the government.
ठीक है सर. सर सेकेंडली अभी इंटरनेशनल ऑयल मार्केट में जो है ऑयल क्रूड गया 6% राइज हमने देखा है. तो सर ये बहुत नेगेटिव नहीं हो जाएगा? एक साथ ये हम गवर्नमेंट कंसिडर कर रही है इसको इस प्लान को, और साथ ये इतनी ऑयल प्राइसेस जो ऊपर शूट की.
Actually, Pakistan is heavily dependent on the import of petroleum products, and it's this market is very volatile. Keeping in view the recent conflict, and we have seen that now after signing of a memorandum of understanding and signing of truce between the two sides. But yesterday there was certain incident after which Mr. Donald Trump issued a statement whereby he talks contradictorily. But keeping in view this volatile situation, we have seen that the prices have surged, and this kind of fluctuation will continue to persist. That's why it's very important that there should be a transparent mechanism exist in Pakistan or practiced in Pakistan in order to announce the prices in such a way where there is a trust of people of Pakistan that if the in international market the prices are going to be escalated, it will be passed on. But if the prices are going to recede or decrease, the benefits and dividends will also be passed on to the consumers. So that's why this kind of deregulation is very important. But this deregulation requires a strong hold regulator. And in this case, strengthening of OGRA will provide an enabling environment to put in place this kind of mechanism in Pakistan.
जी सर. So secondly, Pakistan is looking to raise funds through a new bond, which is called dollar settled rupee linked bond. तो सर इसके बारे में बताएंगे?
Actually, Pakistan had re-entered into the capital market after pause of several years, because in last few years period, Pakistan was struggling to meet its foreign exchange obligations. That's why we graduated an IMF program of standby arrangement, and we entered into the extended fund facility. That's why Pakistan entered into the capital market, whereby we have raised $1 billion through launching of two bonds. One was Eurobond of $750 million, and we entered into the Chinese market after struggling for several years, because it requires guarantee from the two international financial institutions, and in that case, Asian Development Bank and Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank provided a guarantee that enabled Pakistan to enter into the Chinese market for raising $250 million. So, for the ongoing financial year, if we see the budget documents, Pakistan plans to launch $2 billion bonds in this ongoing financial year, and they have already generated a RFP, request for proposal, to select advisors, because it is very important to select advisors, because they advise the recipient country to go into certain markets, keeping in view the timing and overall a framework for launching this kind of bond. It will this Pakistan plans to launch $2 billion, but it will depend on the overall uh, prevailing interest rate, especially in the United States market and in other markets where Pakistan intends to launch this bond. For Eurobond, there is no need of any guarantee, but for launching Sukuk bond, because it's an Islamic bond which requires certain assets to be placed as guaranteed. So Pakistan will explore all kind of possibilities to launch both the Eurobond as well as the Sukuk bond to enter into this market, because we have achieved stabilization, for which people of Pakistan had to bear the cost. And now there is a time to move towards high growth trajectory, and there will be certain dividends, because Pakistan wants to diversify its lending market, because we generate foreign exchange loans through multilaterals, through bilaterals, and now this is the time to enter into the capital market to tap this kind of availability of resources. And another is, of course, the commercial loans, for which we are always looking to certain international banks as well as Chinese banks to raise multi-billion dollars. So it aims to diversify overall market in order to ensure all kind of lending as well as cheaper lending availability for Pakistan.
Correct, sir. Uh, Third, sir, Pakistan is going to use AI for text notices under new administration model, and AI will generate notices to taxpayers. Sir, इसके बारे में बताएंगे?
In this finance bill, which was approved by the Parliament for 26-27, FBR has enabled through different provisions of the finance bill to put in place a faceless revenue model for the FBR, especially because FBR had already introduced a faceless custom clearance system in the last financial year. But now, for the income tax and for the general sales tax, and its collective name is Inland Revenue Service, Inland Revenue System. So, for this, FBR plans to put in place a faceless system under which AI generated uh, notices will be issued, because FBR has all kind of prerequisite data and information, where they will analyze the whole information of the taxpayers. Actually, they want to remove the discretionary powers of the tax officials, and they don't want, and they want to end interaction between the tax officials and the taxpayers. So, for achieving this kind of uh, uh, availability or opportunity, FBR possessed all kind of data, consumption data of individuals as well as of the different companies and AOPs. So this kind of information will be provided to the computers, and AI will help to generate the tax notices so that there shouldn't be any human intervention, and there should be a transparent mechanism to generate an ambitious FBR's target, because the government has invested an FBR's target to the tune of 15.3 trillion for the ongoing financial year. And with the help of more computerization and with the help of AI, the FBR's taxpayer base will be expanded, and tax collection will be raised.
So thank you.